So you say I'm complicated, that I must be out of my mind. But you've had me underrated, rated. What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being confident?
So, good morning, y'all. Well, it's not exactly morning anymore. It's a little bit afternoon, and I didn't go to bed until late last night. It seems like that's been kind of like the pattern this past week. Just because, well, no, I'm gonna take that back, because I've been going to bed kind of early. However, yesterday I slept in because yesterday was our rest day, and I didn't go to the gym, and I'm feeling it. Okay. Next, yesterday I had some things to do with Jada, taking her to the doctor, and what I'm gonna say, you kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. And what I mean by that is, sometimes people seem to think like you don't understand, or you're happy-go-lucky all the time, and, you know, put yourself in her shoes and all of this. And all I can say is you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Y'all, last year, all the stuff that was going on with me and my little Jada, you know, didn't know why she was acting the way she was. The only thing that me and her father could wrap our heads around was peer pressure, social media influence, her going through her own stages of adolescence, and, you know, just trying to figure out who she is and where does she fit into this big world. As a way to help Jada, last year, I took Jada to a child psychiatrist and a therapist because I needed help. I needed help to understand what she was going through. Even last year, we even did family counseling as a family, because the focus literally was on Jada. You know, I didn't even want to like talk about this anymore, because like I said, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. And, you know, people tend to think like, okay, I'm putting like this judgment on my daughter, Jasmine, and I'm not. I want Jasmine to win. If anybody wants her to win, it is me and her father. We want her to win. However, we also want her to enjoy the journey, because she gets so caught up in her emotions. And when y'all say, Steph, you know, I understand, because, you know, I've been a victim of depression and anxiety, and I have too. And I know I have shared it on my channel. I did a whole video on it, and I did a whole video on how I just realized all the things and the changes that my body was like having, that I know it didn't feel right. Therefore, also, I sought help. Now, this is where it gets challenging for me as a mother, because y'all right, the way I handle things is not the way she's going to handle things and process things. However, I'm in tune with me. I'm in tune with me. If I don't like the way I'm feeling, I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to find the source of why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And this is the thing, when you talk about depression and having anxiety, you know, a lot of times people do judge you because they assume you crazy, or they assume, like, you know, what is she stressing about and what is she depressed about? You know, look, she got this, she got that. And it's not about that. It's not about that at all. When I tell y'all I understand, I understand. I have been there. I have been in a dark place too. And at first, I didn't even understand why I was feeling that way. So like when I'm asking her why, it's because I used to have to ask myself that same question, like, why do I feel the way I feel? You know, my first battle with depression was when my husband got deployed. And we have always been a strong bond, unit, seamless, okay? Me and my husband, we don't allow people to infiltrate in our marriage. Friends, nobody. Family, nobody. Nobody. And if you don't believe me, you can ask my mama, my father-in-law. You can ask my sisters. They will tell you. People always have said that James and I are very private, which we are. We're very private. I've never been that woman to, you know, talk about my marriage where I'm sharing things that, you know, happen in my bedroom and stuff like that. He's never, ever, ever been that guy, okay? Never. When we're upset, we talk to each other. When we're down, we talk to each other. And at that time when my husband got deployed, I just couldn't come home and see him. I couldn't come home and share everything that was going on with me. I couldn't share it with him. And the fact that he was deployed and he was in Afghanistan, it just put me in a place that, what will I do if this man doesn't come back? The biggest fear that a military wife or a spouse have is your soldier, your airman, your navyman, whatever, going out there and you not knowing what happened to them. And next thing you know, a chaplain is at your door with a folded flag coming to inform you that something has happened. I went through depression too, y'all. And like I said, it took me knowing my body, knowing that I was experiencing headaches, experiencing pains in my neck that would shoot down to my chest, you know, me just not being in a happy place in my mind. And at the time, I had to put on a front. I had to put on a front for my children because I couldn't let them see that I was going through this. However, I didn't take away from them either. I still was their mother. I still provided. I still was there to do everything a mother was supposed to do. And y'all, my husband was out of the house for 4 years. 4 years. I had to hold it down. And then one day, I called my doctor and I told her I think I needed to come in and see her because I wasn't feeling right. And when I went and I was talking to her, expressing my thoughts and stuff, you know, she had said to me she wanted me to take an assessment. I took the assessment, filled it in. She took it back for me. She went and reviewed it. She came back and she told me that I was going through a depression. She told me, she said, you know, we could do 2 things. She said, you know, I could set you up for therapy. And, you know, you can come and we can have weekly talks. We can talk as much as you need to get it out of you. You know, because you harboring things and holding on to things, that's not healthy either. So she said, Steph, this is what I'm going to do. And so she said, also, I want to give you a prescription to help even out your moods. She said, you are experiencing the highest of highs and the lows of lows. And so she's saying when you're in a low spot, you're in a low spot. And she had been our doctor for like 5 years. She delivered Jada, the whole nine. And she was like, she could just sense the change in me. And y'all, I wasn't living around family or anything. I had friends. I had very, very good friends. And I thank them. I thank Dee, Kawathani, Damika, Della, Sandy that lived next door to me. I thank them for being there for me in my time of need. However, I opened up so that they could be there. My doctor gave me a prescription that day, and she gave me a prescription for Prozac. She told me I didn't have to feel it. She said, however, if I ever felt the need that I wanted to, I would already have it. She scheduled me for weekly sit-downs for us to talk and, you know, discuss, you know, how I'm handling things with my career, things I'm handling with the girls, you know, how I'm dealing with James being deployed, and how to even try to be there for my husband when he calls, so he's not stressing himself out as well, because he's worried about what's going on back here. So y'all, I'm not gonna lie, that same day, that same afternoon when I left the doctor's office, I took my ass to the pharmacist and I filled that prescription. Because I didn't like the way I was feeling. I just didn't. I didn't like it. It wasn't healthy. And I just knew that I had to be there for my children. I had to. I had no choice. I didn't have family living around me to be here to pick up the pieces and clean up my house and, you know, take them to school and stuff like that. I didn't have that. So I had to figure that shit out. And when I say that's what I want Jasmine to do, I want her to figure it out. However, she has to know the difference between her situation and mine is that she has us right here. We're in her presence. We would never abandon her. We would never turn our back on her. We are here. And you know, some of y'all saying stuff, you don't, depression and anxiety, it's real. Trust me, I know. I was on that prescription for a year. A year. It took me 3 months to finally feel like I was coming back to life. It took 3 months. One of y'all subscribers had made a comment and y'all had said, you know, leave Jazz alone. You know, when she's ready to talk, she'll talk, and to back off. And, you know, basically telling me, I guess in so many words, I need to mind my own damn business, and when she's ready to talk, she'll talk. Because I got married young and followed my husband into the military, and I guess we just didn't know what struggle was about. And y'all, I did reply to that subscriber. I replied to her in the comments. However, I'm gonna address it right now here too. Don't ever come and step to me and try to make it seem like my upbringing and my growth with my family or my husband like has been like we just been, like I said, you know, seeing rainbows and floating on cloud nine, the whole nine. We've experienced struggle too, and we've worked our way from the bottom up, and trust me when I tell you this, from the bottom. So don't make it seem like, you know, we don't understand, like, you know, she's struggling with trying to get out on her own and stuff like that. Well, try struggling and trying to figure that shit out and have a kid, a brand new baby, a brand new marriage. You done moved clear across the country from Florida to Hawaii. You tell me, how would you feel? Hell, it ain't easy. You don't know people. You trying to, you know, oh my God, like get your thoughts together with your surroundings and so forth. Like, really? I found myself angry, and this is a subscriber that I like. I like her. I like her a lot. Shit, she calls me Auntie Steph, okay? But it pissed me off because don't make it seem like growing up when I was in my 20s is less complicated than growing up now in your 20s. No, boo. No. Jasmine don't have any kids. Jasmine doesn't have, oh my gosh, no children. She's single. She got a boyfriend, but y'all understand what I mean by she's single. She has nothing holding her back, literally, but herself. And I want her to spread her wings, and I just want her to fly. I want her to fly. I want her to soar, okay? I want her to be like the eagle and just soar. I want both of them to do that. However, people will be quick to judge. And so that's why I'm going to say, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. And what I just shared with y'all, my own mama didn't know. My own mother did not know that when my husband got deployed that I was seeing a therapist and I was on medication. My mama didn't know. You want to know why? Because I felt like she would judge me. I felt like she would judge me and be like, you know, why are you doing that? What, you think you crazy? You thinking suicidal thoughts and stuff like this? And y'all, I've never, ever thought about doing any type of harm to myself. When I tell y'all I love me, I do. I love me so much that when something ain't right, I'm all about trying to figure out why the fuck it's not. I was embarrassed to tell my mama. However, she gonna know now when she watched this. I was. When I was going through stuff on my job, when I was working at Cracker Barrel, y'all, that's a story time in itself right there. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. However, that's a story time in itself. I went through one of the hardest career challenges a black female amongst a dominant group of male managers can go through. And I was working with another black woman that was on a management team that she was not even supportive or helping the situation. If anything, she was making the situation worse. Till once again, I started paying attention to the signs and I started noticing things that was just my body wasn't reacting to, and I sought help. And I had that particular doctor when I lived in Atlanta. She just was simple and straight to the point. She was an Indian lady and she was just blunt as I don't know what. However, she put it to me like this: you either want to live or die. And I told her, of course I want to live. She said, so you have to make some lifestyle changes. And she said that may be quitting that job. If a job or a career or a man or a relationship period is causing you that much stress, you have to know how to walk away. You have to know you have a choice. So y'all can go on with all that bullshit talking about I don't understand. I've experienced it. And at that point, living in Atlanta, the metropolis, okay, living there, I was experiencing discrimination even from my own people. And she was a woman. And she was causing all kind of havoc on my damn job. And it caused a state of depression for me and anxiety. I had anxiety every time I pulled up to that damn job. Every single time. Life is not easy, y'all. It's not. However, God gives us a book with instruction, a book with testimony, that if we have faith and if we believe and if we do the right things, He will lead us. He will lead us to find peace. I'm gonna stop this vlog after I read this one comment that somebody said. Her name is Mama12395. She said, I went through the same thing as Jazz. It's hard having depression and anxiety. However, I had to put myself in my parents' shoes as well. If they didn't speak to me or ignored me, I would be really hurt. I also had to realize that if they passed, our last moments wouldn't be meaningful. I had to find healthy ways to cope with everything because people aren't obligated to stick around after you push them away. If she isn't already speaking to a psychiatrist, please convince her to do so. So you know what? I texted my daughter this morning and I told her I love her. I love her very much. She texted me back. She said, I love you too, Mommy. I basically told her is that, you know what? I'm going to allow her to figure this out. However, me and her father are here. We're here as a support system. However, I told her I would still highly recommend you considering to go see a therapist and a psychiatrist to possibly get on some type of medication to even this mood of yours out, to just bring you out of the sunken place, the darkness, like for real. She replied back to me and she said she really wants to work on this, you know, and she wants to go through this with feeling the pain and, you know, feeling the hurt, and she wants to do it organically. And she said that, and if she feels like she can't do it, she said that, you know, she will seek help then. And then she asked me, is that fair? Now, regardless of what I want Jasmine to do, Jasmine is an adult. She's grown. She's grown. I have to often remind my mother of this because my mom be saying things like, you know, like she's Jada or something, you know, and I recognize she's not. However, I just want her to just, I want her to win. So I did it. I told her how I felt. I still tell her I love her, and I just want her to know she doesn't have to go through this alone. I think dealing with depression and anxiety, dealing with it alone